Hey friends, can the government use your household size against you to determine that you're likely to become a public charge one day? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video, your family size or your household size, because friends, it does matter with public charge. Stay tuned. Watching this video. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer here in Long Island, New York, and I'm also the founder of Smart Immigration Academy. Friends, thank you for watching, of course, but also for sharing this information with other people, because folks are always looking for good information. And as you know, for the past couple of weeks, I've been on this whole public charge factors issue, because that's what really matters with public charge. Those 5 factors. Certainly, the government will care about your affidavit of support sponsor and whether that individual has the income to support you or to sponsor you. But friends, the focus has really shifted tremendously from your sponsor to you or the relative that's going through the green card process. And that officer that's looking at the file will look at 5 categories or factors about you or your relative to determine whether you're likely to become a public charge. So that's what I'm simply doing here. I'm breaking down those factors for you. I've talked about your age and your health, and I'll link to that in this video. If you've missed those videos, go watch them, because age and health matters. And now, friends, your household size matters. Let's go right into it, friends. So with respect to household size, it's basically a counting game. The government is going to be counting how many members do you have in your household. Not everybody is included in this list, right? The government is very specific about who you should count. And let me just do this and tell you right off the bat, you're going to have to count a whole lot of people. Don't be afraid, but you're going to have to count a lot of people, which can get tricky for you because you might be living in a household with other folks who don't want to be disclosed. They don't want to put their business out there for one reason or another. They just want to protect their privacy. And so you're going to need to handle that situation with your household to determine whether these individuals are comfortable putting their name and birthday and other information on this form that I have in front of me, which we'll go over shortly. So with respect to household size, it's connected to your income. Is your income sufficient enough to handle this household size? You may have a household size of 5. Do you have enough income to carry all 5 of you? Or it could be 7, right? 7 of you. Is there enough money, resources, assets to cover this size family? That's basically the question. And to answer the question, the government has come up with a list of household members that you must disclose as you're going through the green card process here in America. On February 24th, 2020, public charge will go into effect through the Department of Homeland Security. Their public charge rules are going into effect that day, and then starting that day, everyone who public charge applies to must fill out the form I-944, which is the Declaration of Self-Sufficiency. And this declaration, friends, this form is 18 pages long. This is the main instrument that the government will use to run you through its public charge tests. The form is available to the public on USCIS.gov's website. So I encourage you to go ahead, download it, take a look at it to see what questions the government will ask of you. The government has also published its instructions as well. Download the instructions too, and I have part of the instructions in front of me, and I'm going to go through a few things with you shortly from the instructions. So download those 2 documents so that you see what you're up against. So with respect to household size, who should be included as a household member? If you're 21 or over and you're married, this is your list. You must include or count these people. First, yourself, right? Next, your spouse, if that spouse is physically living with you. Third, you must include your children who are under 21 and who are unmarried and living with you. Next, you'll need to count other children that you may have who are under 21 and unmarried, but these kids are not living with you. However, you take care of them. You financially support them at least 50% of the time, right? You're supporting these children of yours. They may be in another state or country, but you're taking care of them. You must count them. Next, you must count any other individuals, including a spouse who is not living with you, to whom you provide or you're required to provide financial support to at least 50% of the time, or who are listed as dependents on your income tax return. Now, how many of you know that it's not uncommon for an individual to add a niece, a nephew, or a cousin on your tax return as a dependent? If you have that individual on your income tax return, you need to count that individual, that dependent, as a member of your household, even though your niece, cousin, they don't live with you. You must still count them. You see how this is going to get very tricky, right? And then last, friends, you have to count any individual who provides to you at least 50% of your financial support, or who lists you as a dependent on their federal income tax return. That's a lot. That's a lot. Now let's jump to, what if you're under 21 and you're unmarried? What does the government require of you? Well, firstly, you must count yourself, of course. You must also count any children you may have who are also under 21 and unmarried who are living with you. Next, you have to count children who are under 21, unmarried, and not living with you, but for whom you provide at least 50% of financial support to them. You must also include your parents, legal guardians, or any other individuals providing or required to provide at least 50% of financial support to you. You must also include your parents or legal guardians, other children who are under 21, unmarried, and physically living with you. Must also include your parents or legal guardians, other children who are not physically living with you, for whom your parent is providing at least 50% of financial support. And then last, friends, you have to include any other individual to whom your parents or legal guardians provide at least 50% of financial support, or who are listed as dependents on your parents' federal income tax return. So when you really sit at your dining table and you guys are working on your green card application, and you're at the point where you're looking at this form I-944 and you're scratching your head thinking, wait a minute, this form is requiring that we count all these people, children who are not living with us, people who are on our income tax return as dependents, or this grandmother or this person. And you're going to need guidance. Once public charge goes into effect on February 24th and you're seeking adjustment of status in America, you're going to need to work with a lawyer and find a good lawyer, because this gets very, very tricky. I'm now going to turn my attention to that form, this Declaration of Self-Sufficiency, to tell you what type of information you must disclose about your household member. Firstly, their name. Next, their date of birth, also what their relationship to you is, and then, friends, their alien registration number, right? Their A number. If they have an A number, you've got to put that on here, and you have to indicate whether the individual is living with you or not. And then you're also going to have to provide evidence of your relationship to that person, such as a marriage certificate or a birth certificate or something like that. It's going to get very tricky, and so you're going to have to disclose all of those people, and then the government is going to take that information and it's going to then compare it with the information you're going to provide next about your income, assets, resources, and determine whether, based on your household size, you have enough income to take care of these individuals. So that's what this analysis looks like. In my next video, as I mentioned, I'm going to cover that very big category of income, assets, and resources, because the level of scrutiny becomes really intense at that point. So you don't want to miss that next video. Friends, share this with others. People are looking for good information. Don't get scared. There's a way to disclose all of the truthful information to the government and still get your green card. So don't be afraid of the information that I'm sharing in this video and in other videos. I just want you to be empowered and know what to expect. And then you're gonna work with your lawyer friends, or you can give my office a call, work with us, and we'll take you through this public charge test. So thanks again for watching. And friends, I really appreciate you. Comment below, tell me your thoughts about this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.